I suppose this feels a bit like deja vu to ask these sorts of questions, but were the positive things you can take out of tonight and, you know, give you a bit of optimism moving forward?
Yeah, I'm going to give you the same answer as well. Last week there was fundamentally system failures within our defence that got exposed, and then we fixed them up this week. They weren't there this week, and it was just individual missed tackles just absolutely destroyed us. And individual clock offs, play 4, play 5. If you look at the tries that they scored, how many were around the back end of sets when we think the job's done and it's not, and we can see the points. So,
scored the 2 tries as well. After last week, good to get on the.
Yeah, it was. It's nice to get a couple of tries, isn't it? Yeah, it was just disappointing because we know how much pressure they were under tonight. And then I didn't probably realise the extent of it actually till later in the week, and then we spoke about how hard and physical they were going to come out after getting booed off last week, which made probably the job even harder for us really. I think that really spiked them, didn't it? But we knew if we could ride that out and put some pressure on them and be in the game at half time, then it would be tough for them and we'd grow into the game. But when we concede that try on that kick on the last play just before half time, it's just a killer. And then a missed tackle and a missed assignment on Eccles straight after half time. The game's over.
You take heart, Mike, from the fact that you don't seem to be thrown in the towel. You sort of keep going, keep battling on. Looks like there's a spirit amongst your lads as well.
Oh, we'll not throw the towel in, mate. Simple as that. You'll not see that from us, ever. So, don't worry about that. It's just players, a championship squad adjusting in tough times in Super League. It's like the learns tonight where you cannot clock off, play 4, play 5 and you think the job's done. And you've got to make tackles. You know, back to under 10s, like your individual tackle, your individual duels and the bits that would pick up on Croft, what he does to get undone by that, the bits that would pick up on Eccles and to get undone by that and just to fall off tackles there. They're not systematic errors there, individual ones. So the learns were make tackles. And if everyone did that tonight and we defended the play on play 5 as opposed to what we thought was going to happen, i.e. we think they're going to kick the ball, we're actually running it and we set up for the kick, we'd have been much better off. And you're not going to get them all right, but we're just giving away too many tries.
You've got that belief that a win will finally come, whoever it might come against?
Yeah, I do, yeah. And I think as well tonight, like Ethan Natoli was, I mean, he's at probably 60% capacity. He was outstanding tonight. I mean, he missed a tackle himself though at the end. He was absolutely gassed. I didn't expect to bring him on as early as he did. And he was fantastic tonight. He's massive for us. And once he gets his game legs and Sid gets his game legs and Lewis Bienek get him back into the fold, we'll certainly have a stronger squad of players to select from.
You mentioned you've got a core of championship players. How long do you think it should take for them to achieve at a Super League level?
Oh, who knows? Because every week's different, isn't it? It's like, you know, we play a Salford team who've been absolutely outstanding after they got wounded off Castleford. And they were excellent in the first half. They should have won the game. And they didn't. They got stung, and then that made it almost harder for us the week after. They come to us that little bit more spiked. And Leeds last week, Hull were excellent, I thought, by the way. But and I thought Leeds were all right as well. I don't think there was a horrendous performance or anything. But it was, you know, the pressure that then put on the team that then spiked them into action this week. I feel like there's a bit of that going on as well. And Castleford as well the other week, I thought they'd been playing well for a while. They were the better team against Leeds at Castleford a few weeks ago. I thought they were really, really good. I just didn't think they could quite break Leeds down, and Leeds come out after half time and did what they did. So, you know, they've been building with that, and they've brought in 3 key recruits as well. So, whereas a couple of weeks earlier, if we'd have played them then, it might have been, you know, slightly different, if you like. So I feel like we're probably we're getting the raw end of the backlash from teams or the building of teams, and you see Hull now, we're back on the way up, aren't they, next week as well. So there's a bit of that as well in terms of the way things are falling. But in terms of us, I've no idea how to answer that question. Like, it's
you mentioned you've got Hull next week. Obviously you should have beaten them probably at their place. Will that play any part of your build-up this
No,
week?
I don't think so. I think they're a different team, and it's even that week. I think what shifted the balance is Matty Russell was credible for him that day, and really got the sets going forward, which they'd struggled with, and he did a real numbers. And Bullock was excellent as well, and they were good. But I think the team's a little bit different now. You can see that they've freshened things up, and mentally they've had a reboot. I think they've emptied the boxes and they've re-gone again. So I'm not sure we can look too much at that. We will probably scan over the game, but I'll have a look at what the team was tonight, and how it kind of fares up and stacks up, and how they're playing under Grixie as opposed to Tony. But there's been a lot of change since then, hasn't there? It doesn't seem that long ago, but there's been a lot of personnel change, like kind of off the field and on the field for him. So probably not too much.
Just on you said about championship players and stuff. One player in particular, Ollie Leyland, has taken quite well to Super League. He had that crossfield kick for all but an assist, and then he could have had a second one with Hakeem. How do you think he's kind of built into Super League gradually? And as a player from Kent, he's from the south. How important is it for a player like him to kick on in Super League? Yeah,
massively. Ollie's been building for a few years with the ball. We've got to get him up to Super League standard without the ball as well, and that's where a few of our players are at. A few of our players defensively have got up to speed, and offensively haven't, and kind of provided us with that strike. And Ollie's the other side. I think he's given us some spark, isn't he? I think you can see he's a bright spark out there for us. His kicking game's been good. He's got good energy around him. Good things are happening around him, aren't they? Which is excellent for us. And I go with James Meadows as well. He's been struggling. We pulled him out the firing line tonight. We're bringing him back on, and he was back to Jimmy against Hull again. He was excellent tonight. Responded really well. So, but no, Ollie's been travelling well.
Yeah, just on James Meadows, he was on the bench this week. Is he going to be 100% for Hull, do you think?
Yeah, no, Jimmy. We just pulled him out the firing line. Simple as that. We'll be honest. Like he'd been struggling with a couple of bits of his game, and again, it's part of the learning curve. Like, we just felt this week was the right time to pull him back, not completely, and just freshen him up a little bit, and he responded really well.